We got another build video for y'all today, and it's going to be working on something that I've always wanted to have in a Lego city if we ever built one. And now that we are building one, I wanted to make sure that I had a spot for this specific build. It's something as a kid that I used to love watching getting home from school, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lair. And so in today's video, we're going to be messing with that, putting that build together, doing all the things, and kind of doing some of the planning and all the steps that are required to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. Now, I really have to apologize. I sound terrible. The weather here in Houston has been kind of crazy over the last couple of days, and with that, I've gotten some really bad allergies. I am really fighting through it right now. So, anyways, it is what it is. We got a lot of building to do, so let's just go ahead and get straight into figuring out how we want this build to be set up and figure out how we're going to be pulling some things off, because right now we're kind of at the process where we don't necessarily know how we're going to do it, but we want to do it. So let's get into it. This right here is going to be the size of the Ninja Turtle layer that we're going to be building. Now, because this is not directly connected to the city like the garage was, because we had to have the ramp connecting to the outside of the street, we are going to be able to mills plate this one and make it extremely structurally sound so it's not falling apart or having any of the issues that we had before. Now, this isn't as big as the garage, but it is a pretty big space to work with. So we have a lot of area to build, to make stories, to do details and all of that stuff. But the first main thing that we have to do is obviously going to be to mills plate this. And we have to mills plate it in a very specific way because of one of the options that we're going to be putting into this build. So, okay, let's get to the mills plating. After a ton of mills plating, well, at least not the plates, but the actual mills part of it, we are done. Now, don't worry. I know this looks like a ton of 2x2s and also 2x6s, but if we take a look over here, we have an entire bucket full or bin full of 2x2s. Same thing with 2x6s. Anytime that we ever go to Brick and Minifigs, we're always buying more for instances like this. So I'd rather actually put the brick to use than, for it to just kind of be sitting in a bin. Anyways, that being said, this is now all ready to be plated. Now I wanted to make sure that I did nothing but dark gray around the outside over here and here as well. Reasoning to this is going to be facing towards you and down this channel as well. Nothing but dark bluish gray. Now there is some colorful brick here and here, and that's because I have some masonry bricks on here just to kind of give it a little bit of detail. But I don't know, maybe you're asking yourself, why didn't we actually put 2x2s and mills plate this as well? Because it's actually separated. Well, that's going to be the next process that we're going to have to do. So we're going to go ahead and show you that. So let's plate this here as well as this side. And we're going to show you what we're going to be doing here in the middle. Now what you're going to say, why does his plates look like that? They're all over the place. I never press the plates down until I know 100% this is exactly the layout and how it's going to go, because I hate pulling plates up after you've mills plated. Okay, so now I think this is going to be the way things are going to work out. I'm pretty sure it's not going to move from here. Now, the colorful plate, I don't know why I ever have an issue saying colorful. There, colorful plate around the outside is going to be covered up by a wall. So it's really not going to matter and you're not going to see this. Remember, this side right here is going to be what's facing towards you. Same exact thing on this side. And same exact thing all the way to the back. Now, what's going on with this middle part right here? Well, this is going to be a sewer, and there needs to be an area where water, trash, and whatever is flowing. And well, this is what we got here. Now, I decided to go with the tiles looking in this direction. And that's simply because I want it to almost look like water is moving, but not necessarily moving. Now, it's not coming out great in the camera. There are some areas that look very squarish, but I think it's just kind of the angle of the camera. It looks completely different as you are sitting here in front of the build. Now I'm gonna wait to tile any of this stuff off. I want to put trash in there. I want to put some rocks. I want to do like a little bit of rock work, a little bit of buildup of garbage, and just add a bunch of like details and stuff to this water. And on top of that, we have a UV printer. So we're thinking about printing trash on top of the translucent tiles, which might look really cool depending on what we add. So yes, I think this is going to be pretty freaking sweet once we tile it. Now, I really like the herringbone um, formation for tiling, so that's probably what we're going to do here. And in my opinion, to me, again, being right in front of the base plate, it looks like the water is kind of doing this as it's flowing out. Now, where is this water coming from? Well, if we scoot a little bit further here, there is going to be a wall, but there's going to be a massive pipe right here that is spilling the sewage and the water and the trash and everything else into this waterway, and then the waterway is pushing stuff out this way. That is kind of what the plan is. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. I don't know how we're going to show or indicate that trash is falling. We've already figured out multiple different things. We obviously just need to get the parts, and I think we have everything that we need, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, the other thing is the circular tube, or whatever you want to call it, is actually going to have some depth into it. So you're going to be able to see inside of the tube that there's going to be trash back there. It's darker, all of that good stuff. So we will be taking a little bit of this area up, but not too much, because that's the reason why I tiled all of that water stuff. But yeah, okay, so now the next thing is I kind of want to figure out where that pipe is going to be that water is spilling out. And we also need to try to figure out how we're going to show that water flowing and trash and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and jump to that, because there's going to be a lot of figuring out things that we're going to need to do. Now, before I got too deep into putting the rest of the walls and all of that good stuff, I kind of wanted to show what the thought process was on this, but I'm not 100% sure if it's even going to stay like that. So this is going to be the pipe right here, which then water and trash will then be flowing down into this area here and moving downwards or outwards, however you want to talk about it. I went ahead and left this area, and let me go ahead and move this around. I went ahead and left it open because what I want to do is I want to create some depth here. We'll also be putting some trash and some water pieces and all of that stuff in here, so that as you look into the pipe, you will then be able to see that there is something actually inside of the pipe. Now, my question is, and the thing that I'm having a little bit of an issue with right now is I don't even know if I like it. um, Now, there's several issues here. Now, number one, I'm not 100% sure if I like the pipe opening being the light bluish gray or the light gray, and the color contrast between that and the dark bluish gray. I don't know if the reverse would work better, meaning that you would have the light gray and then a dark bluish gray pipe. I don't know if the inverse is going to be any better, because I don't want to make the walls the light gray. I really want them to be the dark bluish gray, because it makes sense. It's a sewer. It's going to be really dark down there. Now, we did decide to do some colored bricks here. Let me get in a little bit closer. Again, sorry about the voice and the sound of my voice or whatever. It's these allergies are kicking my butt. So we went ahead and put a little bit of brown, a little bit of green, just kind of um, showing off that yes, some of the materials and gunk and whatever that's coming out of this pipe is running down, hitting the wall, and then as it comes down through here, it's splashing and it's kind of getting everywhere. It's kind of the indication that we were trying to put off by it. But the issue I think I'm having ultimately with it is if there is running gunk and junk coming through here, I think this pipe being the light gray is probably what is kind of making the issue for me. So probably gonna have to order that. Those are not pieces that you normally find. We got lucky and we found these at Brick and Minifigs, but that doesn't mean we're gonna find the dark bluish gray in those pieces. So I don't know. I don't know what to go from here. Now, just a little bit of information. This top piece right here, that is all the way to the very, very top. So we don't go any higher than this. Now, when it comes to the placement of the pipe, I think that's perfect. I didn't want it to be too low. I don't want it to be too high. I kind of want it to be somewhere in the middle, and I think I pulled that off pretty well. And it's pretty simple. It's just actually two bricks that are holding these things together. It's studs on top there, a snot brick, and then a snot brick down here. And it kind of just holds those in place. And I think it does well. Now, nothing being around the outside, I don't know. I like the open studs, but I mean, I guess it could maybe potentially have some dark bluish gray pipe pieces on the outside, which may actually help with the color. I think that would actually be pretty cool. I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be stuff that we're going to have to order. But that being said, we have now the idea of what we are trying to build here. This is going to be two separate areas, two separate pieces. We'll have trash, water, gunk. We're going to be printing some special pieces for this specific area right here. And also, we're more than likely going to make a little bit of a bridge that takes you from one side to the other. I don't necessarily know exactly what we're going to be building when it comes to what the Ninja Turtles are going to be using. That is kind of a toss up right now. I think I do want to have like an area that they're training, that Splinter is talking to them. Maybe even an area that is for Splinter alone, that he can sit there and oh man, what am I trying? What is the word that I'm trying to think of? Anyways, an area just basically for him to get his Zen moments and all of that good stuff. An area for the Ninja Turtles to be eating, gaming, playing, just an area for them to chill. Just all of those things is more than likely what we're going to be building here, but exactly what, not 100%. I'm not 100% sure. Meditating. That's the word that I was looking for. Meditating. Anyways, okay. All right. Well, that being said, I know this is kind of a little bit of a short video, but we're waiting on more dark bluish gray pieces. We've washed them and now we're just waiting for them to dry so then I can go ahead and get the walls up, and then we can kind of look to see how we're going to be building the rest of the stuff. And then I'm really going to look this over and let me know in the comment sections below, what do you think about this kind of look? I'll look at those, I'll read those comments and kind of decide on what exactly. Michelle has also been looking at it and she's kind of thinking it over. So, yeah. But anyways, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Again, I got to go take some medicine. These allergies are really getting to me. I'm trying to keep myself from coughing multiple times here. But anyways, so that being said, if you enjoyed the video, do us a favor and go down there and hit it with a like. If you want to see more content like this, how this build is going to progress, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Again, let me know in the comment sections below, what do you think about the build overall, especially when it comes to the pipe area that we have right here. Let me know in those comment sections below. While you're out there looking for Lego, hunting for that perfect set for you, be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!